Hello everyone, it's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting live stream. In this video, I am going to be discussing yesterday, February 19th, 2019. Today is February 20th, 2019. Hope you're all having a fabulous day today. For me, it is currently 12:13 a.m. If you guys are just now joining us in the live chat, feel free to tell me how's your day going so far. Ask any questions that you happen to have, and to bring up any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream. Yo, Kirby Bay, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Kirby, how's your day today? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about, and do you have any questions for your boy? Kirby said I'm going to be doing a Shadowverse stream later. Yo, if you guys are into trading card games, your boy Kirby is going to be doing a Shadowverse stream. It is a virtual trading card game. Make sure that you guys check that out when Kirby uploads. If you're not already subscribed to your boy Kirby Ultrastar, make sure to visit his channel, smash that subscribe button, ding ding ding, ring that notification bell so that you'll be updated whenever he's doing these Shadowverse live streams. And he doesn't just do Shadowverse. Kirby, shout out some of the games that you have played on your channel that you feel like people should go check out. Check out. Boom, 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 boom. This is what we call a plug, where you gotta plug that content, talk about what you got on that channel. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. So while Kirby is telling me about how his day is going, bringing up any discussion topics, asking any questions he has, as well as plugging his channel, I will be editing the description of the video and putting tags down because tags are vital. It helps people know. Hey, they start searching for vlogs. They're like, what is this vlog? Stumble upon it. It's great. And then the description allows you guys to be able to read what I did today instead of actually watching the video if you want to do that, or to follow along in the description in case you just really want to know about my day for whatever reason. Boom, 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 boom. But that is what we'll be doing tonight. We'll be talking with you guys, discussing with the audience, answering any questions you have, talking about any discussion topics you want, and talking about, our day. I'll be going over my day. You guys can go over your day. It's whatever you guys want to do. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. So, just now started writing up the description. This video is almost 3 minutes long, and I haven't really started talking about my day at all. I'm trying to get better at editing these videos. Well, not editing, but just doing these videos. There's no editing involved. See, scrolling up. Oh, in the description. Oh, wait a minute. I noticed that my live chat says top chat. I want all messages visible. I want to see the full live chat. I noticed that your boy Aidan will on occasion only show top chat during his streams, and it's kind of gross when it only shows the top chat. Kirby said Hex Car Clash, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Soul Calibur 6, Gran Turismo Sport, and his big one is Dead Space 1. So if you want to check out the content on Kirby's channel, if any of that sounds interesting to you, then make sure that you go over to Kirby Ultrastar and smash that subscribe button. Boom, 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 boom. I don't think I copied all of the tags from that other video. I sure didn't. Okay. Zweep. It was a while. So, there we go. Now I have the descriptions and tags edited. Speaking of games on the channel, feel free to vote in tonight's fan poll. It's going to be up after we do this vlog. So if you've never participated in the fan poll before, it essentially allows you to vote for what you would like to watch on the channel. We do a fan poll every day, Monday through Thursday. So like I said, feel free to vote in the fan poll that we'll be having after this vlog. That way, you'll be able to control what we do next on the channel. I know tomorrow I'm going to be hanging out with Taylor. We're going to be playing Jump Force. So if you're excited for more Jump Force content, that's definitely coming. Also, we're about to have Lego Worlds tomorrow night after my last class. Your boy Ryan is going to come over and we're going to play Lego Worlds. So that is always Hype Train Deluxe. Your boy Kirby said, wow, my second YGO Pro 2 video has almost 100 views. Can we make it 200? Go over, check out Kirby's YGO Pro 2 video. Show him some love. Kirby's super nice. He's good at Yu-Gi-Oh! Worth checking out. Definitely make sure to visit him. Let's see. So right now I am copying everything that I did today. throwing it in that description. Ooh. Your boy Kirby said my most viewed video has 187 views. What is your most viewed video? Boom, 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 boom. Let's see, scrolling through. Bum, 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 bum. And what is your favorite video? Because those two may be different things. Your boy Kels said, hey, how are you? Yo, Kels, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. I'm fantastic as always. Thank you for asking. Kels, how is your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics that you'd like to talk about on the stream? Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Dum, 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 dum. I'm almost done editing this description with everything that I've done today. Kirby has been talking about his channel, what content that he has that he wants people to check out, and his most viewed video was the most recent topic brought up by Kirby. And right now I'm just doing the initial setup of the stream, so I haven't really like started yet. Mainly just talking with you guys, you know, getting settled in, enjoying my time. Kirby said the opening show fountain by the TNT fireworks. Oh, cool. So, the fireworks show, is it the same fireworks show that you showed me that was the Disneyland show, or is this a different fireworks show? I said Disneyland, but it's probably Disney World? I actually don't know the difference. What is the difference between Disneyland and Disney World? Ooh. Your boy Kel said, my day's pretty good. Then he said, none at the moment. And who would win? Oh no, who won the Nexus duels between you and Kirby? So me and Kirby faced off, and Kirby played ninjas, and I played Empowered Warrior Ventra, but not the custom Ventra that I play on Dueling Book, just like normal Ventra within like normal Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was able to get Kirby with Ventra's direct attack stuff. Let's see. Kirby said, no, it's just a single firework that is of the fountain style. Oh, so your most viewed video is of a single firework? Is it shot once or multiple? Excuse me, is it shot once or multiple times? Then Kel said, I think Disney World is just bigger. And then Kirby said, I stood no chance. And it just all depends on my hand when it comes to the Ventra deck. Well, that's not true. It depends on my hand, and it really depends on like what my opponent has. Now, Kirby says he has no chance, but it was a thing where Kirby had a lot of chances in order to stop me from like hitting him directly. Um, so it all depends on like what Kirby's like comeback game was, because I had multiple attempts where I tried to swing at him directly, and he was like ninjutsu art freezing, and I just couldn't. So I mean, it depends. Kirby said Disneyland is in LA and Disney World is in Florida. Interesting. Do they have different like rides and attractions between the two? And how different are they when it comes to like their rides and attractions? See advanced settings. I think everything's set for the description and tags. So now I can start talking about my day. So after last night's stream, I exercised, showered, checked the syllabus for my management class, and then went to sleep. Kirby said, I had no way of getting over 4300 attack, so I was just stalling with false hopes. Did you have any way in your ninja deck to do monster removal? Like to just be like, no, and just like get rid of my guy? Or spell and trap removal to maybe get rid of the field play spell card, or get rid of Psychic Blade to prevent me from having such high attack? Because like a Mystical Space Typhoon would have like severely like lowered my Ventra. And then Kirby said, I can't destroy anything. Oh, I see. I feel like if you just threw in like a few Mystical Space Typhoons, you could give me a run for my money. Because if I like try to boost my Ventra and then spend like 2,000 attack points, and then you're just like, MST, there's like nothing I can do about it. So that would definitely have helped give you like an edge for sure. Um, so MST and like any monster removal would get me most of the time, I imagine. Let's see. Also, last night's dream was a doozy because I like overslept. So I had like a long dream, and it split up into parts that I made like individual sentences. So for last night's dream, my mom prepared like a voodoo ritual to help me find true love, but mom was nervous because she had never done voodoo before. Then the next part of the dream, I walked into a math heavy test, confused, and didn't write any answers as one of my fellow students attacked the teacher. And apparently, he was like a member of a gang, and it starts like a weird gang thing in the classroom. Real quick before I continue on my dream, Kirby said there are only 4 cards in the deck that aren't ninja related. So, A forces I know is one. What are the other 3 cards in your ninja deck that aren't ninja related? Because I remember A forces, and you told me about A forces, but I don't know what the other ones are. For the next part of the dream, I hung out with Taylor, and I saw a weird plant and did some parkour, and mentioned having a dream about superpowers, but it was me in the dream talking about a dream that I like never had. Kirby said that he has 3 A forces and 1 terraforming. Terraforming is a good card. Um, I just really like terraforming. There are a lot of good field play spell cards, and terraforming being so generic is just good. I feel like if you had like a few cards that were like spell and trap removal, you could give me a solid run for my money with the Venture deck. Because my Venture deck does depend on equip spells in order to like make the combo work. Let's see. For the next part of the dream that I had last night, the city for some reason was starting to become like a small New York. And I remember running into my friend Allison and us talking about it. I then went to a movie with Aidan. I think originally I was walking with Taylor, and we ran into Allison. And then after we talked to Allison, Taylor like turned into Aidan, and then Aidan had me sit in like a weird seat that faced away from the screen in the movie theater and instead faced like a TV set. And I thought that was like a weird part of the dream too, because I remember thinking, the fuck, how am I gonna see the movie? And then just like doing it anyways. In the next part of the dream, I yelled at my grandma for getting my name wrong, and then had a weird bonding moment with my dad. It's like I was asleep, and my grandma and my dad were like talking about me, and then grandma like said my name wrong, and I like woke up, like I heard their conversation. I woke up, and I like swore at my grandma, and then I thought I was about to get in trouble, and then instead of getting in trouble, like my dad like hugged me, and we had like a weird like father son moment from it. I didn't really understand that part of the dream at all. Then my dad and his wife, it skips to like a part where I'm like in the back seat of a car. They were like refused to take me to Cookout to get like a milkshake. That was like another part of the dream. I think that's like the end of the dream where I woke up. But that was last night's dream. Whole bunch of crazy shit. Just super weird. Kirby said, I don't know how to add cards to the deck without going beyond 40 cards. It sounds like you would have to figure out what cards you felt like you could go without and what cards. Actually, yes, that's pretty much it. You would just go, what cards can I do without that I would feel confident in replacing with like Mystical Space Typhoon? Because if you're gonna run like 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, you don't have to get rid of a whole bunch of cards. You can just like drop like 3 cards. So it would just be finding what 3 and then replacing them with MST. And you can easily do that by taking like monsters that you run 3 of, and then just like drop 1 copy of each monster and replace each with like an MST. Kel said maybe your dad was like, yeah, frick your grandma. And I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was really odd. Kirby said, I did that already with Senior Silver Ninja and Fuma Shuriken. True, true. So I guess you're like, I don't want to drop it to where I'm like running like one ofs of like a few monsters. And that's understandable. I do feel like if you had some spell or trap removal on there though, it would stop a lot more than just my Venture deck. You'd be able to interrupt like other people's combos that have to do with like spells and traps, and it could be useful. Could be, could not be. It really depends on like what your opponent is running and doing. Then Kel said, Kirby, why don't you put MST in your side deck? Then you can switch out cards that you don't need. I see where Kel's is coming from. So Kel's suggestion is that like you don't even have to like change your deck. As long as you just side MST and we play like multiple rounds, then you can be like, oh, I know I'm gonna have to face someone who has a whole bunch of like spells and traps. Let me put in these side MSTs and then go for it from there. And then Kirby said, I barely ever use side decks. That is a big thing. Similar boat for me. A lot of times when I do Dueling Nexus, I'm not playing multiple rounds, so I don't really get to the part where like you use a side deck. Plus, if you're facing off against someone immediately, like you know you're gonna face them, then you wouldn't want to take a L in round one for no reason. You would just want to already have those MSTs. So that'd be the other thing, unless that was your plan the whole time. Let's see. Next up, things that I did today. So I woke up later than usual, closer to like the start of the fan poll. I replied to a series of YouTube comments and noticed a lot of messages on my phone. I replied to a bunch before getting ready to do the fan poll stream. Kirby said, I do have a lot of three ofs in the deck though. Okay. So you might be able to thin it down, figure out which three ofs that you'd rather have like two ofs, and then pop in those MSTs. And then Kirby said 6 sets of just three ofs. Yeah, I feel like you could narrow that down just a little bit, and that way you can fit room for some of that spell and trap removal. Because I feel like it's just helpful. I mean, the game is made up of monsters, spells, and traps, and MST gets rid of both spells and traps. That's like a third of what your opponent can possibly throw out. Then Kirby said, and then 5 sets of spells and trap three ofs. Mm-hmm. And then Kel said, well, in that case, you can just add three ofs. I don't know why I got so tongue tied. Kel said, well, in that case, you can just add 3 MST right before you duel Jet, then take them out after the duel. True. And if you already have those MST just waiting in your side, right? Then at any point, you can be like, I know this opponent uses like important spells and traps for their strategy. Just gonna quickly side, boom, 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 save, duel, and then after the duel, boom, 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 take them back out. So I feel like that can work. I understand where Kels is coming from. During the fan poll stream, I missed Kel's vote by mistake. Hashtag sorry Kels in the live chat. I did not mean to miss your vote. We ended up playing Dueling Nexus, and I got to play non-custom empowered, which is what I mentioned earlier. Even outside of custom format, I do really like the Ventra combo. The Ventra combo is just made easier to do in the custom deck. But to be honest, I didn't have a lot of difficulty doing it in the normal deck. I feel like the custom deck and the normal deck may be like similarly on par. I don't know. Let's see. Kirby said personally, I would rather use Dust Tornado. Dust Tornado. Let me Google Dust Tornado. Why? And then Kirby said, I freaking hate Ventra. So why Dust Tornado? I'm googling that now. Doo doo, doo 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 doo, doo 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 doo. Ay, doo 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 doo. Target one spell or trap card your opponent controls. Destroy that target. Then you can set one spell or trap card from your hand. It's slower than MST. I like the fact that you can set one spell or trap card from your hand, because that is useful for like ninjutsu art cards. So I get where like you're coming from. In a ninja deck, it's like, aha, not only did I destroy your psychic blade, but I also got to like place this ninjutsu art. But at the same time, it just feels slower for an effect that you can't always activate. You know what I mean? Let's see. Then Kel said, I don't think you should have triple MST in your deck, because even though it's a good card, it's not worth potentially messing up the deck. I don't think triple MST messes up a deck. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I had MST in my hand and was like, this is a shitty card to have in my hand. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that bad. Let's see. And then Kirby said, in any deck. Are you saying that you freaking hate Ventra in any deck, regardless if it's custom or normal? I don't know. I gotta love my boy Ventra. He's pretty good. The only thing that makes Ventra so good is that you can empowered summon him using the Empowerment Field Play spell card. Cal said, also, I recommend adding a card that negates and destroys, because MST doesn't negate most of the time. It does negate cards in certain situations. Well, if you want like negate and destroy spell or traps, then I would normally go with Dark Bribe, If you want to do that for monster effects, Solemn Strike is probably the best one, but it has a life point cost. So I normally prefer. I haven't played these cards in a long time, like the ones that I'm thinking about. But I used to always play the counter traps that negate and destroy. I know you play the horn cards, like the Horn of Heaven or whatever, in order to negate special summons. Can't remember the monster one though. Monster one is like on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't get to it. Let's see. So Kirby said I would rather have Dust Tornado in any deck. I couldn't. I couldn't. I'd have to go with MST. It doesn't even do the negate thing. I don't know. If it was like, then you can set one spell or trap card from your deck, like instead of being from your hand, then I'd be like, whoa, that's really good. But because it's from your hand, I could just not have any spell or trap cards in my hand. Or I could have spell or trap cards in my hand and just not want to set them. Dust Tornado's second effect just feels really niche. I'd have to have stuff that I want to set during my opponent's turn. I just don't feel like I run decks that really like can utilize that to its full potential, if that makes sense. I do feel like it works with ninjas, with ninjutsu art. I wouldn't say it works in like any deck. You know what I mean? Let's see. Oh, in my management class, my teacher didn't want to call on me. She was focusing on letting other students get a chance to discuss. Now, I like to be very active in my management class. I love this like discussion based, and then we all get to talk. But I'm actually totally fine with her not calling on me. And I hope that it helps encourage more in-class discussion. She's going out of her way to like point at people who normally don't like talk in class, and that's cool. My only gripe with it is that today was an extra credit day where you got points for answering questions. And I hope that I still receive points, even though I was only called on maybe once or twice during class. That's my only caveat. I'm like, it makes sense to try and encourage discussion with everybody. Uh, but those points, though, like, I don't know. Then Kirby said if only ninjas had a ninjutsu art that was like Mirror Force or Sekaretsu armor. That would be cool, actually. Sakaretsu armor almost fits the archetype, except it's like samurais. Or not necessarily. Sakaretsu armor has an interesting design. You could kind of throw that into whatever you wanted. And a Mirror Force thing would be cool. What would you call that? Um, Ninjutsu art self substitution would be interesting. Um, Not self enemy substitution. That'd be cool. And the idea is that your enemy attacked, but then when they thought they hit you, they actually like hit themselves. I think that would be a cool name. Um, and then for Sekaretsu armor, doesn't that just destroy your opponent if they attack? Isn't it like similar to Mirror Force? I'm not sure. And then Kirby said, would it be an armor art or a regular art? If it like destroys your opponent, I don't know, because the armor arts are defensive. So it depends on whether or not you consider that a defensive or offensive play, Kirby. Kel said, well, the problem with just adding MST or other generic good cards is that if you're doing a big combo, perhaps, and you're about to win, you just need to draw one search card or whatever, but you draw MST. You get the whole wonk, 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 wonk. I understand where you're coming from with that, Kels. But there are only like so many cards that you can put in your deck for your combo. Like, unless you somehow are running a deck where every card in your deck can somehow lead into your combo, then you must have extra cards in there that you could like easily substitute. Anything that's not a part of the core combo, I feel like you could put in just some generic good stuff utility. I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. So I feel like you could probably splash 3 MST in there. I don't think every card in your deck is like pushing toward that combo. I feel like some of it is in there because it's like, this could help in some situations, but it's not vital to what the deck is working toward. And that's what you can replace for like MST. At least that's what I would think. Um, oh yeah. So after my management class, I went to Dunkin' Donuts for my one meal for the day. I was able to get there before the big after class rush, but I had to wait maybe around 10 to 12 minutes for my food, which I thought was odd. Nani said, hey, yo Nani, welcome to the stream, it's good to have you. How's everyone's day today? Do you have any discussion topics you like to talk about? And do you have any questions for your boy? And then Nani said, hey, my bro, donuts say, hey, hey. Kirby said, my deck is just having ninjutsu arts with ninja on the field, so there isn't much room for other cards. Well, I mean, at any one time, you can only have like 5 ninjas on the field, right? I mean, with link monsters, you have like 6 ninjas, and if you extra link, you can have like 7 ninjas, right? Um, your deck, if you're gonna keep it at like 40 cards, a lot of people like to do like 20 monsters and then like 20 spells or traps. So you have a 50-50 chance of drawing a monster or drawing a spell or trap. Um, if you run 3 of all the ninjutsu art cards that you want, then it depends on how many ninjutsu art cards there are. If well, it also depends on which ones you run. And then he says his deck has 22 monsters. Why 22? I guess would be my question. Um, and then Kel said, well, it depends on the deck, really. Some decks have next to no wiggle room to add a card. Excuse me. And others, you can just throw it in. Then Nani said, what do you think about jump slot of people aren't happy with it? And he said the story was ad. So he's talking about Jump Force. Real quick before I get into yours, what ninjutsu art cards are you running, Kirby? I believe you told me last night, but I'm curious to hear it again, just to like clarify. Then Kells, I can agree because there are some decks where it really does matter for every card. At least I feel like that's right. I'm having trouble thinking of it. Like I feel like that's true, but I'm having trouble like putting my finger on like what decks can I not splash like anything into. Because if I do, it breaks it, and I'm like I'm honestly not sure. I'm thinking cubics, but that's not necessarily true. I think you can splash things in cubics. It depends. You don't want to go too heavy on the splash, but I'm trying to think of a deck where if you replace 3 cards with MST, the deck just wouldn't work anymore. You know what I mean? Let's see. What are my thoughts on Jump Force? Haven't really played it too much. My favorite parts of the game would have to be like the graphics, the customization, and the combat. I feel like the combat is really fun and a little more deep than I originally thought it would be. The graphics look great except for Blackbeard. I think he looks fucking ugly. And the customization is crazy. I didn't know. So I already knew that you could put like 4 abilities on your character, right? I knew that you could dress up your character in different outfits. I didn't know that you can like change characteristics of your ability and your character can have like passive abilities and that your character levels up over time as you like complete like more matches and stuff. The game just threw a lot at you for like making your character special other than just having like 4 moves, and I was very surprised by that. I just wasn't exposed to any of that in the beta, so I was like, what? And I'm surprised I haven't heard people talk about all the additional customization. You can customize your support characters. Every character in the game levels up. It's just interesting. And when it comes to story, I like the concept of the Umbras cubes or whatever that are turning people into Venoms and allowing you to have like superpowers in the Jump Force world. I think that's like an interesting concept for sure. And I also like the idea behind Jump Force's story. Uh, Maybe not the execution, but like the idea of the Jump worlds being like in a multiverse that includes our world and having normal people suddenly have the abilities of anime characters that they can customize themselves in order to give themselves the powers that they want. I do think that's cool. Let's see, let me scroll up. So Kirby said because of all of the 3 ofs, probably. And then he said Rust Mist, Freezing, and Decoy. So because you're running ninja, you said the focus of your deck is ninja monsters and ninjutsu art cards. So you're running 22 ninja monsters and then you're running 9 ninjutsu art cards. And you want to make sure that your deck is under, well, within 40 cards, right? So because of that, you're currently running 31 cards if you only count your monsters and ninjutsu art cards, which means you have about like 9 slots to just fill in with non monsters and non ninjutsu art cards, which means 3 of those slots could be MST. I know that you're also running A forces. I know that you're also running, I believe you said Fuma Shuriken. I'm forgetting how you spell that. I think I remember saying it out loud. Um, but that would be 6, just adding the 3 A forces and the 3 from a shuriken. So then just pop on that 3 MST and bam, you got some spell and trap card removal on top of everything else that you have. Oh, so 2 shuriken. So is it 2 shurikens and 3 MS? Not 3 MST. And 3 A forces? That would be from 31 to 36. And that would give you 4 cards that you could pop in. 3 of which could be MST. I don't know. MST's not bad. Let's see. Then Kirby said FA is very strict on deck construction. Interesting. I've never played FAs. Is FA like a synchro archetype? Then Kirby said my FA deck only has 2 cards that don't match the archetype. Interesting. Then Nani said the move set is only Luffy, Goku, and Naruto. That sucks. That's just like normals. Did you want to customize like your normals? Apparently, Mortal Kombat 11 will let you do a little customization with your normals, from what I've seen. Um, but I don't mind not being able to customize the normals. To me, that's like okay. Um, you get all these different like powers and abilities from different anime, and then you can change the elements of certain things. Like you can have your Rasengan have different elemental properties. Different characters have different elemental resistances, and different elemental attacks. And then as you level up, it can change like your resistances to things as you add passive abilities to your characters, and then you can edit your support characters to give them like different abilities as they help you. I do feel like there's way more depth to like Jump Force customization than just the 4 powers you can put on your guy. And to be honest, I think it's cool that they gave us those 3 fighting styles anyway, because they didn't have to do that, to be honest. Give you the choice between the Naruto normals, the Dragon Ball normals, or the One Piece normals. I think that's pretty okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Then Kel said, well, I'm not saying the deck will break, it would just function not as good as it would be without it. And then Kel said, I think Jump Force is really fun. Yeah, so far I'm like enjoying the game. I'd say my biggest gripes with Jump Force, I gave 4 things I liked about Jump Force. I'm not sure if I have 4 things I dislike. Um, I don't like that you can't stream the cutscenes, but you can stream yourself talking during the cutscenes. So you guys will see like a blue screen, and then you just hear me react and describe what happens. That's kind of shitty. Not a fan of that. Um, so that's the first thing I dislike. Second thing I dislike, some of the animation in the cutscene just looks weird. I hate how Trunks looks when he's like moving and talking in the animation. He looks so weird. He looks like a puppet. And then Goku's hair, oh gosh, Goku's hair is trying to follow the laws of physics. It wasn't made to do that. It's just flapping around everywhere. It needs to calm down. So I'd say the animation is rough for these cutscenes. Not a big fan of that. Um, I'm trying to figure out what else I don't like. I don't know what else I don't like so far. Mainly just the animation and the fact that you can stream the game, but you can't stream. Oh, how many fucking load screens and cutscenes there are in the first place? I'm fine with there being like cutscenes, right? I want to have the story and I want to see the story. I'm fine with cutscenes. But I don't like that they'll have really short cutscenes that go into loading screens, that go into more cutscenes, that go into more loading screens, instead of having like a long cutscene and then a loading screen and then you're back in the game. I would rather have that. I would rather the cutscene, instead of having like a bunch of short ones, you have one long one and then a loading screen and then you're playing the game. I don't like all these intermittent cutscenes. I think that's really weird. So I'm trying to think if I can figure out a 4th thing that I didn't like, but I don't know what the 4th thing I wouldn't like be. The frog vehicle is stupid. I don't like that it's a frog that you float on. I'd prefer if you sat on a frog and it hopped, like frogs do. I felt like that was just an odd, like weird flex, not like a horrible thing. But if I'm just complaining about random shit, I'll complain about that. I feel like that's something that's weird. Nani said, and I thought the creator character was gonna have different moves, like Hiei, Kurama, etc., like different anime characters' moves and outfits if they weren't gonna add them. So you were thinking that the creator character, even if there were characters that you wanted in the game that didn't make it in, that you could still have the outfits of those characters and play as those characters through your created character. Excuse me. I understand where you're coming from, and I do feel like that would be a good thing for them to have in the game. And they do have some costume items to where you can kind of make your character look like other anime characters in Jump Force, well, who are not in Jump Force. Like it's very easy to make like Shikamaru in Jump Force in appearance wise, but I agree that it would be cool if you could also use Shikamaru's different abilities. I do think that'd be dope. Also, yo, Dragon Ball Super fan, welcome. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on stream? Right now, in terms of talking about my day, I was talking about going to Duncan after class. In the live chat, Kells and Kirby are currently talking about Kirby's ninja deck. He's trying to figure out whether or not he should put MST in the deck or not. And we're discussing decks where if you stray too far away from the archetype, how it could make the decks harder to play. And Nani's talking about Jump Force and how a lot of people have been disappointed in Jump Force. Right now, specifically talking about the created character and how Nani originally thought that even if characters weren't going to be in the main game of Jump Force, that at least they would have like the outfits for those characters and the abilities of those characters, so it could be like playing as them through like character customization. Let's see. And I agree, Nani, that if they're not gonna put as many characters as they can in the game, at least they could put their abilities and like costumes into the game to where you could create a character that was similar to them. That would be dope. Let's see. Kirby said two shuriken, and then one terraforming, and then three of the field spell. Right. So that's what's currently filling up those extra slots. I totally get running multiple copies of the field spell. The field spell is pretty good. And of course, terraforming, so you can search the field spell. How did you feel about Shuriken? I noticed that Shuriken only gives like a 700 boost, and I know that has an additional effect when it like is destroyed. Um, do you think Shuriken is worth it rather than having, say, like Moon Mirror Shield or something like that, which just gives you a boost that can hit over anything? You know what I mean? Rather than a boost that's just ninja specific. Nani said, I'm glad I didn't buy the Ultimate or Deluxe Edition. Definitely not worth it. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. I feel like most Ultimate and Deluxe editions of games aren't worth it. It's a huge markup for like very little payoff. So I am also glad that I didn't get like an Ultimate or Deluxe edition of Jump Force because no, I wouldn't have thought that would be worth it at all. Lego Worlds, on the other hand, whew, Lego Worlds is such a good game. I don't know how much money I'd be willing to spend on that game. Best game I have on PS4 right now, Lego Worlds. Nani said, I wanted to make a swordsman a soul reaper. And then he said there are a lot of people who use swords but couldn't add it. So what's interesting about like the creator character is that if he like does a sword move, he summons like an energy sword. And I'm actually fine with that. I think that's pretty cool. Can you at least dress your character up like a soul reaper in Jump Force? I've never tried to do that, but I think it'd be pretty dope. Yo, Ryan, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Ryan, I got three questions for you. Question number one, how are you doing today? Question number two, do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about? And question number three, do you have any questions for your boy? Right now, Nani and I are talking about like Jump Force. Kells and Kirby and I are talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And in terms of my day, I just started talking about going to Duncan. Um, Kells said, Kirby, in my opinion, just put it in your side deck. And before the fight with Jet even starts, just pop it in. And he said, yeah, that'll make it a 43 or more if you want to put in more, but it's only for a few duels. Then Kirby said, I'll put Dust Tornado in the side deck. To each their own. I just don't vibe with Dust Tornado. I feel like it's just not as good. Nani said, yeah, the animations look so weird in the cutscenes and cringy. I do think the animations in the cutscenes are rough for Jump Force. Kel said, I think the cutscene animations are bad, but in a funny way. But during small fight scenes, the animation is pretty cool. I think the animations in the fights look marvelous. The fight animations, I think, look good the whole time. The cutscene animations are just weird. Sometimes I think people talk and their mouths don't move, and I also think that's weird. I don't know. Jump Force has weird cutscenes, and I feel like they put all their love into the combat. They're like, let's make this combat just fucking great. And then I feel like they did put a lot of love into the customization, a lot more than I thought they would. Um, but the cutscenes and the story probably are lacking. I haven't seen enough of the story for me to hate on it too hard. But I definitely have seen enough of the cutscenes for me to be like, these cutscenes are garbage. This is, let's see. Nani said, people who got Naruto's pet thing on the lobby look weird. Like there's no animation on it. It just moves, lol. They were lazy. You're talking about like the frog vehicle? Agreed. I really don't like that it's not a frog that you sit on and the frog like hops around. I think that would have been cool. Instead, they give you like a weird frog hoverboard thing that you sit on. That's just dumb. It's like a magic carpet, but it's a plastic frog, essentially. Lame. Your boy Kel said at Kirby. Sounds good. Then Dragon Ball Superfan Tintin said, Sup, Jet? Yo, Dragon Ball Superfan, welcome to the stream. Nani said it looks like an unfinished game. I don't know. I think what ended up happening, at least in terms of the cutscenes, is that they like took the character models that they had made to like do crazy action fight poses and then tried to make them actors to like work in cutscenes, and that's just not how it's supposed to work. Like they're trying to use like the same models that you use in the fighting segments in like the acting parts, and I don't think they're made to pose like that. So whenever Trunks is like moving his head and talking, I'm like, this just looks stupid. But I feel like if they had like made actor models to rig up properly, it probably could have like made it better. Let's see. Then Kirby said I could possibly take out the A forces for Magnum shields. Magnum shield is definitely cool for warrior monsters, but is it better than that Moon Mirror shield though? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Nani said disappointing 50th anniversary game, not even 50 characters. I wouldn't say that Jump Force is disappointing. You know what I mean? I would just say that Jump Force exists. It's not a bad game. I enjoy playing it. I don't pick up Jump Force and go, ugh, I'm playing Jump Force. And when I'm playing Jump Force, I'm not like, oh, this is shit. I do think about how good Lego Worlds is, though. But it's hard to compare Lego Worlds to anything. Um, but I don't think Jump Force is a disappointment. I don't even think Jump Force is a bad game. I just feel like if it had better animation during cutscenes, longer cutscenes, which is an interesting thing, better animation for cutscenes, longer cutscenes, less loading screens, and you could stream the cutscenes, I would probably enjoy the game a lot more. Uh, let's see. Kel said, personally, I don't like it when people dress as characters while aren't in the game because it's not very creative. He says, I don't hate it. It's honestly fine. I just think it's lame. And I understand where you're coming from, Kels. Um, the idea is more or less to give the option by just providing those like costume pieces. So if they could have made like the side characters from a bunch of different anime who didn't fit in the game, like not necessarily like the background characters, but like the supporting cast made all their outfits in the game and then put all their abilities in it, even if they didn't put them in the game itself, I feel like a lot of people would have been totally fine with it. It would have been like, sure, I can't play Suna from Reborn, but if I want to, I can like give my created character Suna's costume or give my created character some of Suna's abilities. I feel like that would have made up for them not being in the game because at least you can still have those experiences. Kirby said, I haven't been able to play it. Jump Force? Jump Force is very fun when it comes to like the combat, but there are a lot of shortfalls I feel like outside of the combat. But the combat is the bread and butter of the game. So I feel like as long as the combat's not fucked, which it doesn't seem fucked, that like the game is like acceptable and it's not fucked, so I feel like an acceptable game. Um, like I said, better animation, longer cutscenes, less loading screens, and being able to stream the cutscenes, and I would like Jump Force a hell of a lot more. Let's see. Kel said, I just wanted to complain about a random thing that's actually a good that I just don't like. No problem, Kels. No problem at all. Then Ryan said, hi, Jet. Yo, Ryan, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Kirby said, with Magnum Shield, It's just woo. Sorry, it scrolled down hella hard and it was suddenly about Moon Mirror Shield and I got confused. Okay, Kirby said with Magnum Shield, Twilight Ninja gets Suga and Shogun would have 5,000 of the current active stat. That's true, but with Moon Mirror Shield, you're just always better than your opponent. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, would you rather be like thick as fuck, or would you rather just run over anything that's in your way? And it's like, I'd rather just run over anything in my way. Kel said if Lego Worlds was personified as a person, Jet would have literally married it and have had 3 kids. 3 is such a small number for Lego Worlds. Lego Worlds is fucking bomb. Um, Lego Worlds, I just wasn't opening the bottle. My hand was just going around the bottle. Lego Worlds allows you to essentially get the experience of like playing with Legos, and having like imaginative fun while playing a video game. I feel like that's hard. I feel like it is legitimately hard to give someone an experience that's just playing with toys in a virtual setting and making it fun and making it not cumbersome. That's what I like about it. Nani said it's cool that they added Mugetsu outfit on the game. What is Mugetsu? I'm actually just not familiar with what that is. Then Ryan said, I want to play Lego Worlds. He said, I made a bunch of new custom cards. The deck is still not optimized, but ready to knock your hands. You're about to straight slide my hands. Mixing together these different slang terms and phrases. We'll see. We'll see, Ryan. Ryan wants to come over tomorrow night after my last class for the night. We're going to try and hang out, play Lego Worlds, and get milkshakes in the drive-thru. I'm hyped for that. Hopefully Ryan doesn't cuck me. I've been cucked on milkshakes multiple times this week alone. I got cucked on milkshakes tonight even. So hopefully no more milkshake cucks. I got cucked on milkshakes in a dream last night. I've just been constantly getting cucked on milkshakes. Please, Ryan, don't cuck me on milkshakes. Truly appreciate it. Let's see. So then Kel said, Ryan, you should post a link to the deck in Amino. And then Ryan said, no, Naruto has toads. I can't tell if you were saying no to the mention of Naruto having frogs or no to posting your custom deck on Amino. It sounds like Ryan might want to keep his deck on the low. Surprise everybody with it. Let's see. Dragon Ball Superfan 1010 said, Jump Force should not had light for cutscenes. I still haven't really seen him pop up in the game for real, because I haven't played a lot of Jump Force yet, so I can't complain about it yet. Then Nani said, I give it 4 out of 10, maybe a 5. I can't really rate it yet. I haven't played a lot of the game. Kel said, I don't think the game is unfinished. It just needs a few tweaks and DLC to fix things. If they had a patch that let me stream cutscenes, I would like the game a lot more straight up off the bat. The animations, I feel like, kind of need to be redone. I don't think it would be like a few tweaks. I feel like they'd actually just have to redo a lot of the scenes. And DLC, I feel like people would definitely appreciate, at the very least, more abilities to put on your custom character and more outfit options. And then, of course, new characters would be nice, but if they gave us those characters' costumes and abilities instead, I'd be alright with that. I wouldn't complain too hard. Kirby says, Screw Moon Mirror Shield is just a cheap fuck you card that makes a monster get over anything, even infinity. And then he said, well, maybe not infinity. That's what makes it so good. I think it's better, like if you're only running one equip card, and the point of the equip card is to increase your attack and defense, then Moon Mirror Shield is the way to go. There just aren't better ones. I don't understand. Kel said, I don't think it's disappointing. I have fun playing it a lot. I know it has flaws. It has a lot. But I still have fun, you know? Yeah, I do agree with Kels that the idea is about it, like, being fun. You know what I mean? As long as the, like, main gameplay, that combat is enjoyable, I can look past a lot of the other things. I still am not a fan of the other things, but if it was like all these extra elements are shit and the gameplay is shit, then the whole game would just be shit. But to say that like the animations like look janky and the cutscenes are too short and there are too many loading screens and you can't stream the cutscenes, that doesn't ruin the gameplay experience though. As long as the gameplay itself is fun, then the game is fun, and I enjoy the game. Let's see. Nani said, yes, Nick, that would have been better. And then he said, yeah, I just like the fighting. And that's fine. And then Kirby said, if I wanted to play fuck you cards, I would play Raigeki. That's because Raigeki is also good. Then Nani said, Mugetsu is from Bleach, one of Ichigo's forms, where he beats Aizen. Oh, cool. So you can kind of make like a Soul Reaper character if you put on that outfit. Kel said, Mugetsu is a character guy thing from Bleach. Too lazy to explain, lol. Then Ryan said, Jet's mind cucks himself. Yes, on the fucking milkshake dream where I wasn't able to go to Cookout. I'm just subconsciously aware that I'm continually getting cucked on shakes. Then Nani said, I already explained it. He said, you're going to have to buy DLC, or is it going to be free? If Jump Force did free DLC with some of the characters that we didn't get in the initial release, I think a lot of people would praise Jump Force for it. Is that going to happen? Probably not. Probably going to ask you for some money. As a matter of fact, don't we already know that there's like a season pass and therefore paid DLC? So we already know that the DLC is probably not going to be free if the season pass thing is true. So I wouldn't have my fingers crossed for any free DLC anytime soon. Nani said, I remember when we had to unlock the things, not buy them. Yep, J-Stars. I had J-Stars for PS3 back in the day. Then Kirby said, alright, I'm going to set up the Shadowverse stream. Oh, ballin'. Your boy Kirby is about to stream Shadowverse on his channel. If you would like to see some trading card game action from your boy Kirby, make sure to tune in to his channel right now and check out that Shadowverse. Hey, have fun, Curbs. Have fun, Curbs. Shadowverse. Kel said, a lot of hate Jump Force videos only talk about the bad parts, and it makes a lot of people who hate the game just to hate it. So it is interesting to have videos where you don't talk about both sides. I feel like that's a waste of time. You know, if you're going to talk about how much you don't like something, unless you call the video like the things I hate about X, Y, and Z, then it just seems weird. I don't like the concept of someone reviewing a game. Like, here's my review of Jump Force, and then you just shit on it for like 10 minutes. That's not a review. You know, if you liked any element of it, I feel like you should also talk about what you liked when you review a game, not just talk about all the things you didn't like. Because I feel like it just gives a bad impression of how your thoughts are on the game. Then Nani said, I just liked it because of Jotaro and Dio. So Nani's like, I just liked it because I like the characters. I like it because of the gameplay. And the customization. Like I said, the gameplay and the customization are two of like the most hype things. And I like the whole Umber's Cube thing and the idea of the Jump Force, Jump World multiverse or whatever. That seems cool. I would actually like to see like fan fiction that takes place in Jump Force, because a lot of people like to do really stupid fan fiction where it's like, I got the Vanishing Rasengan and I can do the Kamehameha and I team up with Goku and Boruto, you know, but within like the context of Jump Force, that fan fiction makes sense. You know, it's not as silly. It's like, oh, so it all exists in like the same multiverse and those characters have met each other and worked together and there's like a thing that exists in the plot that gives you the ability to have those powers. Cool. Then all that just makes sense and you can just have those adventures if you want to. That's fine with me. Let's see. Kella said, Dio is literally my spirit animal in Jump Force. Then Nani said, I want to make a stand character too. And he said, Nick, where's Winslow, Winslow, we hung out a little bit tonight. I actually haven't gotten to that point. I actually haven't talked about a lot of my day. Let me get back into talking about my day. Kel said, Nani just wants Winslow to take over Jet's channel. Now, Nani, you tuned in earlier. You saw that stream that I did with Winslow. That collab. Let's see. So, where was I in talking about my day? So, I went to Dunkin' for my one meal for the day. And I was able to get there before the big after-class rush. But I had to wait maybe 10 to 12 minutes for my food. I wasn't in a big hurry or anything. I was just surprised at the wait, considering that I was like the second person in line. I also have gotten used to going to Main Bowl, which is the Chinese food restaurant on campus, which seems to almost never have a line and gets you your food as soon as you order it. So I feel like I've been kind of spoiled by like Main Bowl service. Dunkin' is definitely better quality and has a lot more options than Main Bowl, but it also just seems a lot less convenient. It sucks to be like the second person in line at like a food place and still have a significant wait for your food. Excuse me. I think that's pretty shitty. And I'm not sure if I'm willing to always wait that long for like better quality and more options when I can go to Main Bowl and spend less money. I forgot to mention that. Main Bowl's like cheaper, and more convenient and faster service. And Duncan just can't stand up to it. Then Kels said, "All right, I'm gonna have to leave now. See you later. Well, catch you later, Kels. Thank you for being on the stream. Truly appreciate it." Then Nani said, "So Nick won. So Nick won what? What did I win? Let's see. I learned today that Lego Worlds has a planner tool, which allows you to quickly build houses and other structures. And I'm actually really excited about this, as I've been struggling to find the easiest way to build a two-story house in Lego Worlds. I also learned that the most recent free builds are not included in the free DLC that I recently got for not for Jump Force, for Lego Worlds. Hopefully, the new world types will become available in future DLC. Nani said, "Is there any game that you're gonna get, Nick, from the Big O?" What is the Big O? I feel like that's the only thing that I'm confused about. Um, when it comes to any games that I'm like planning on getting, I'm definitely planning on getting Mortal Kombat 11 for sure. Um, and I'm thinking about getting another Lego game because of how much I like Lego Worlds. But I feel like any Lego game I bought would feel like a disappointment compared to Lego Worlds. Because I think what I like about Lego Worlds isn't that it's Lego. I like the whole like giant open world crazy multiverse setup where you travel to different planets or different biomes and complete missions. You can build whatever you want and kind of just play pretend in a video game and make your own fun. It's what I wanted to do in No Man's Sky, and then it just came out in another game a few months later. So Lego Worlds. And then Nani said a Lego game would be cool, and he said, "But what Lego game?" So I'm considering getting Lego DC Supervillains. The reason why is because it's like one of the more recent Lego video games. I know the most recent one is Lego Incredibles or whatever, right? Um, and I kind of do want to play a newer one so that I can have fun with like the most modern Lego graphics and setup, and like a big expansive open world. Because I know the earlier Lego games didn't necessarily have like the same setup. But I like superheroes, and I like the fact that I can play a custom character in Lego Worlds in a big open world. So I think Lego DC Supervillains might be a good fit because I can customize my supervillain, and I can travel around a big world with like Gotham and Metropolis and go on crazy adventures. So I think that would be pretty dope. That or Lego Marvel Supervillains 2, but you can't create your own character, and I've already lost some of my interest like immediately off of that. Plus, I'm not a big Marvel guy. I noticed that Nani said Lego Harry Potter. I'm actually not a super big Harry Potter fan. Plus, how open world were those old Lego Harry Potter games? I like traveling around a big world and doing like crazy stuff, and I just don't think the old Lego Harry Potter games did that, but I don't know for sure because I've never played one. So I have no idea. I'd have to look into that. What is your favorite Lego game, Nani? Let's see. Oh, I also learned how the camera car works in Lego Worlds. And I am curious to see if Aiden or Ryan would be interested in making crazy short films in Lego Worlds. Aiden has been really wanting to make some short films, and Ryan seems to have a lot of fun playing Lego Worlds, so I think it would be a win-win for sure. I talked to Aiden about that tonight or whatever, and Aiden is like, I want to make like a real short film. Don't want to make like a Lego World short film. And I'm like, whatever, you know. Feel like it would be fun and have like a $0 budget, but we could kind of do whatever we wanted because Lego Worlds gives you a lot of freedom. I feel like it would just be good. Then Nani said the only Lego game I played was the Star Wars ones. I've played a little bit of Lego Star Wars. Um, I beat Lego Batman 2. I really enjoyed it. Um, I played a little bit of Lego Batman 3, but Lego Batman 3, you didn't have like the big open world Gotham City, and that actually upset me. I was like, the fuck? That was like one of the best parts of Lego Batman 2. How can you not have big ass Gotham City? And I was like, this game isn't even that good. And I like stopped playing Lego Batman 3. I have that game for like the PS3. I played like the first few levels and I just couldn't get past that. Yo, Goat Boy Gaming, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Right now, we're just talking about Lego games, and I'm talking about my day. I went to class insanely early today for marketing. I'm talking about like over 30 minutes before class started. I was like already there. So I sat in the classroom. Normally, when I get to class early and the lights aren't on, I just like sit in my desk and I just like watch videos on YouTube on my laptop and just like chill, for a bit. So I'm watching these Lego Worlds DLC videos, and then I suddenly notice it's like 1 minute before class starts, and nobody's in the room, and it's still dark. So I check Canvas, and no class. There was no class. I just wasted a ton of my time just sitting in the classroom, not doing anything. Hard cuck, hard cuck. So I just ended up going back to my dorm. Goat Boy Gaming said, "How are you?" Oh, fantastic as always. Thank you for asking. How are you today? Then Nani said, so Lego Marvel Heroes. He said the Harry Potter one looks fun. So I probably won't get Lego Marvel Superheroes. I'm thinking I'm probably going to get Lego DC Supervillains because you can make your own custom character and you can travel around an open world Gotham and an open world Metropolis. And traveling around an open world Gotham was my favorite thing about Lego Batman 2. And then being able to customize your character is a really cool thing you can do in Lego Worlds. So I think it'll be like a win-win kind of thing. Harry Potter, like I said, I've never been a big Harry Potter fan. I might have to watch like a few reviews first, see if I'd be interested in it. Maybe it could be what got me into Harry Potter. I don't know. We'd have to see. Nani said, so Nick got murked by the Big O. Don't know what the Big O is. Then Go Boy Gaming said, good. Glad to hear that you're doing good. Then Nani said, that does sound better. And he said, look at reviews on it. Yeah, I can look at reviews on it. I tried to stream Lego Worlds after I left my marketing class, but for whatever reason, my console didn't want to. Aidan invited me over to ride with him to Marco's to pick up a pizza and get milkshakes. So I walked over to Aidan's dorm in the rain. I get to Aidan's dorm, and he's like, I actually ordered online because when I called them, he's like, I called them twice. They didn't even pick up the phone. So I call Marco's and they pick up immediately. And I hang up on him. I'm like, I didn't have any problems. And he's like, well, don't worry. I ordered online. Delivery. So we're not going anywhere and we're not getting milkshakes. And he's sitting there with Jonathan watching like Game of Thrones, which is a show that I don't like. And he's mainly just staring at me while Game of Thrones plays in the background. And he's like, why don't you sit down? And at a certain point, I was like, I think I'm just gonna dip. And then Aiden's like, no. And then we actually started like hanging out. But it was weird because when I was like, hey, I think I'm probably gonna dip. I'm not really into Game of Thrones and we're not talking about anything. Aiden was like, what? Why would you want to dip? And then I was like, well, we're not doing anything. He's like, well, I was gonna wait until like the pizza got here. And I was like, 20 to 30 minutes. Like, what was your thought process? Like, what about sitting here and watching a show that I don't like for 20 to 30 minutes like sounds appealing and not talking? That just sounds really weird. So I thought that was odd. Then Nani said, I want to see you play it, talking about the Lego Harry Potter game. And then Goat Boy Gaming said, your storage is full. My storage is full for that one Lego world that me and Ryan played on. So me and Ryan played on one of the Lego worlds. Because in Lego worlds, you can go to as many procedurally generated worlds as you want to. We were on one, and we did so much on that world that its memory maxed out. But only for that one world. We can do whatever we want on all the other worlds. But that world, any changes we make to it just aren't saved. And the whole time you're on that world, there's like red flashing text that's like, yo, you can't save here. There's too much shit on this planet. And I was really surprised about that. I didn't know that was something that you could do. let's see. Um, and then Goat Boy Gaming is like lol. So let's see. I ended up doing a live stream with Aidan on his Empire of Eternia channel. If you haven't checked it out, feel free to check him out. He does micronation based content, so it's a little niche. But if that's like what you're into, then feel free to like give his channel a shot. And even if you're not, maybe he can get you into it. The Empire of Eternia is spelled Empire of Aeternia. That's Aeternia. Empire of Eternia. That's Winslow's Micronation channel. And we talked about futurism and sex dolls. Now, you may be wondering, how did sex dolls get into the conversation? Aidan asked me, what is the most clickbait title I could like put on my video? And I mentioned that Aidan and I had recently watched a few documentaries about sex robots, and we could talk about like technology and micronations, and then like talk about like sex robots for like a little bit. And I feel like a lot of people will click for that sex robots. They'll be like, "What? Micronations and sex robots?" And it ended up working out really well, so that was cool. After that, we hung out for a bit and we discussed short film ideas. I want to do a really short film. If we were to do a short film, maybe like a 1 minute short film, something that's more like a quick skit, something that's like funny. You can upload it. People will like laugh at it for like a moment, and that's it. And it doesn't have to be like multiple weeks of like filming and editing and like changing it up. Just something like cute and funny, and then like, hey, like we made a little movie, and that's it. Aiden wants to make like a huge production, maybe spend like $100, have like a crew of people film, edit, and I'm like, no, like why? I just don't want to do that, especially for like the first short film that I would ever do with Aiden. I don't know why I'd want to make it like such a big venture. Like just do something like small and then get your feet wet. And he acts like if he does a 1 minute short film, that he's like, it'll still take at least a week and we'll need like a whole bunch. It's like, no, we don't. It can just be like small scale, please. It doesn't have to be crazy. Um, and I just feel like Winslow like just doesn't understand me on that point. It's been interesting. And then Nani said maybe Harry Potter. Then Go Boy Gaming said, do you play Fortnite? We do fan polls. We do fan polls every Monday through Thursday. I'm actually about to set up a fan poll stream right after this, and whatever wins the fan poll is what we do on the channel. So if you guys want to see me play Fortnite, I do have it on my PS4. All you got to do is vote for Fortnite, and then if it gets enough votes in the fan poll, I'll do it on the stream. And then Nani said, so Nick loses. I don't know, it's weird. Aiden hit me up with one of his like short film ideas, and what's interesting about like the short film idea that Aiden gave me, he told me that it was inspired by this guy who he really likes the filmmaking style of. And then as he described it to me, I was like, it sounds a lot like one of that guy's short films. You're just like doing the same premise from like a different perspective. And then Aiden was like, no, it's really different. It's not like his thing. And then I explained to him how like it's kind of different, but it's more or less his thing. And Aiden was like, you're just shitting on my ideas. It's like, I'm not shitting on it. It's just, I understand taking influence from someone that you really like. Going like, hey, I really like the style of like film they make. I want to like make films like them. That's cool. I understand that. But I think it's interesting to take that even further and say, so what if I just try to do something they've already done, but different? I would rather see you take elements of their style rather than take like straight up elements of their plot. I think that's a little too far. And that was the big discussion I ended up having with Aiden. But Aiden's like, man, you don't want to do longer short films, and you're shitting on my idea, And I'm like, I assure you, like, I'm not shitting on it. I just feel like you're trying to do too much at once. Just like take it slow, ease into it, and I feel like you'll have fun doing like the short stuff, and then maybe eventually you can make it into like bigger projects, kind of thing. And then I just felt like Aiden can just think of more ideas. He can just think of ideas that aren't as closely related to the guy who he's taking inspiration from. Then Nani said, play more Lego games. I'm totally down to play more Lego games. I'm almost done with Lego World's like main story, like getting 100 gold bricks and becoming a master builder. I just need 7 more gold bricks. If you guys voted for Lego Worlds in the fan poll, I would really appreciate it, because I really want to play more Lego Worlds. Especially now that I know how to build structures faster. I still need to use the planner tool to like learn how to like do that. Um, but really excited. Really want to play more Lego Worlds. I'd really appreciate it if you guys voted for Lego Worlds in today's fan poll. Then Go Boy Gaming put up a bunch of like picture frame emojis. Then Goat Boy Gaming said, "I'm 9.5. Don't swear. I swear all the time, Goat Boy Gaming. I've told you this. Uh, if you don't want swearing, this just may not be the channel for you. We just curse. We curse like not even thinking about it. It just happens." And then Nani said, "So Aiden starts to fight you like everyone else." Um, I don't think he's boxing me or anything. Um, I just feel like we want to do different things. Because for me, the short film thing would be more or less like Aiden wants to do a short film and I'm hanging out with Aiden, so I guess we're doing a short film thing. I don't think it would be a thing for me where I'm like, man, I'm really into this short. We gotta do a short film. I'm actually more interested in doing like improv, like if we were to like improvise a movie, or doing the Lego Worlds movie thing, because Lego Worlds lets you do so much on like a budget of $0. It's like you want to have a movie where your main characters are exploring like a dark cave, and then inside there's like an army of skeletal warriors, and there's like a big sword battle. That sounds like a huge budget production. But in Lego Worlds, we can do all that shit for free and film it inside of the game with like different like camera angles and perspectives. That's the hotness. I don't know. But Aiden just didn't seem interested in that. I feel like that would make for like cool little short films that we can make. And I'm not trying to make it like super long, but it's just something that you can do on a budget with the greatest of ease. And then Nani said, "How in Lego games?" So in Lego Worlds, they have this thing called the camera car, where you can drive around this little car that has a camera on it. You can zoom in and out of like shots and like frame your shots, and then you can record like what's going on. And that's a cool way for you to like make movies in Lego Worlds. Nani said, "Try to do one." I do want to do one. I'm curious to see if Ryan would be interested in making a movie in Lego Worlds, since Aiden doesn't really seem up to it. But I think it would be dope. Goat Boy Gaming said, "You're not Christian." So when it comes to my religious beliefs, I kind of believe that like everything exists. So regardless of your religious faith, I believe that like whatever you believe in like is real, and when you die, you'll go to like whatever afterlife that you believe in. So I'm actually more like open to everything being a thing. Um, but I feel like I've now gotten to like the end of like the vlog for the most part. I've gone over my whole day. I'm caught up with the live chat. So I'm probably going to give shout outs to everybody in the live chat, then wrap up the stream. But I want you guys to stay tuned because we're going to do the fan poll stream right after this. And then Goat Boy Gaming said, "That's cool." So shout out to Goat Boy Gaming. Shout out to Nani. Then I got to scroll up. Shout out to Kel. Shout out to Kirby. Shout out to Ryan, aka Darkness Approaches. Shout out to Dragon Ball Superfan 1010. Excuse me. And it looks like that was everybody who joined us. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button. Favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that notification bell to be notified whenever you do these live streams. As your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Peace, and stay tuned because we got the fan poll stream coming up next. See you guys soon.